But you fucking hate it when video games are good. I mean, what is this shit? Fuck off! That's why I love myself a really good licensed game. You just take your average game and slap a sponge on it. Growing up in a village with no stable internet connection till I was 15, I was only able to play with consoles. Starting with the Game Boy, the first console I invested a ton of time in was the Nintendo GameCube. Of course, I played all the Nintendo classics. Mario Kart Double Dash, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Strikers. I had so much fun playing with my friends, and honestly, people might hate on the design of the GameCube as being too childish, but picking up your controller or the whole console to play video games at your friend's house was never that easy. As a 10-year-old, I obviously had no money to buy new games all the time. There was no GameStop or anything to trade in my old games. That meant I had to rely on my parents to get new games. You know these games that your mom buys you because she doesn't really know what you like? I'm not sure if he likes these Pokemon, but there's a game with this yellow cheese on top he watches on TV. Better get him this.
You took my one chance at happiness and crushed it. Crushed it into little tiny bite-sized pieces. So thanks. Thanks for nothing.
You're welcome.
Honestly, my relationship with licensed games is a mixed one. Some of them were real gems I played for hours and hours, and some of them were Fantastic Four. The worst games were the ones releasing on the day of a movie release. Having no budget and no time meant the developers push out generic shit after generic shit. Yeah, let's slap some movie scenes in there and done. What? Finding Nemo wasn't any good? Well, speaking of which, I remember getting Finding Nemo as a present from my mom. I think she even paid like $50 for it, which was really expensive at that time. I saw it, popped it in my GameCube, and saw this. What is this shit? You swim through the sea, solve some really stupid puzzles, and next low quality cutscene. It was such a bad experience, it made me wanna become Michael Reeves.
I'll let him go home with his family.
Be free!
The best licensed games for me personally were the Nickelodeon ones. Nicktoons Unite, this weird Avatar game where you could play as Haru, but most importantly, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Hey, is that another 90s kid talking about Battle of Bikini Bottom?
No, this is Patrick.
Listen here, you barnacle hat. I grew up with this, so let me have this. And to the Gen Z audience,
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
you might have heard of a game with the same name, just a little more moist, that got released a few years ago. Yeah, well, it's good, but not as good as the original. Also, that shitty multiplayer that they added.
Forget about it! See ya!
Battle for Bikini Bottom was the perfect platformer on the GameCube. I know, there was Super Mario Sunshine, and even though I love it, I honestly would pick Battle for Bikini Bottom any day of the week. You might think I'm an idiot for this opinion, but you're probably right. During one of the schemes to get the secret Krabby Patty formula, Plankton accidentally puts his robot factory from obey to not obey and loses control over them. The robots, who have by the way hilarious designs, then proceed to wreak mayhem and destruction. Your job as SpongeBob is to destroy robots, collect golden spatulas and some old socks to free Bikini Bottom. While doing this, you'll go through all kinds of fun levels that tickle the nostalgia. Jellyfish Fields, Rock Bottom, but my favorite is still the Goo Lagoon. Maybe it's because I'm a sunny boy, or maybe seeing Larry the Lobster in his natural habitat makes me want to buy some butter.
Are you there, crustacean?
Who, me?
You have the physique of Atlas.
Thanks, I work out.
The Goo Lagoon has so many memorable moments. I think my favorite part has to be the fair. Seeing that Ferris wheel crashing down and this stupid music playing just feels like pure nostalgia. Even though it's not that hard to finish the game, I think it's still great, and with the remake it's easier than ever to do so. Aside from a few details, they did a really good job with the remake. And I can't wait till they release SpongeBob Cosmic Shake, even though I'm really worried.
Good luck, and don't fuck it
Overall, licensed games for shows and movies aren't as common anymore.
Thank you!
In the age of the internet, it's easier than ever to see what a game will look like and know if it's shit. We are not dependent on the box art to make consumer decisions anymore. The biggest license that regularly pumps out games nowadays is probably Star Wars. Luckily, Star Wars is not only owned by the devil, but also published by one.
It's just a perfect match.
The original Star Wars Battlefront 2 was a game I played to death. Playing as a jetpack unit, a stormtrooper, a sniper, or even a Jedi or Sith Lord was the best. So EA knew they had my money in the bank already when they announced a new Star Wars Battlefront game. Apparently my live streams weren't enough, so EA decided to lock the game behind loot boxes. Just so I get the full picture, you want this credit for an in-game helmet? Don't worry, skins in Star Wars Battlefront are basically the new Bitcoin. Yeah, but you know that your parents will lose their house when you can't pay, right?
But did you see the helmet?
Listen, I don't mind loot boxes that are just for cosmetics, but EA really tried to test the limit on what is okay by also having power-ups for money.
What inspired you?
Money!
A game that I didn't actually play, but which elevates license in a new era, is Fortnite. I like to make fun of Fortnite kids as much as the next guy, but actually the inclusion of the different beloved brands in one of the biggest games of the last years is a genius idea. Finally, my dream of killing Travis Scott in a Naruto outfit can be real.
You had no idea how many years I had that on my checklist.
I think it's fair to say that licensed games overall evolved. And their good sides as well as their bad sides are still true to their roots. Even though a lot of them are trash, it's sometimes fun to go through your bin and find a gem.
Look, I found Cartoon Network Racing.
Forget what I said. Well, so anyways, thank you for listening to me blabbering about some nostalgia. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what to improve and hope you're here for the next time. See ya!